Thank you for being there. Welcome back. It's Splash 105.5 FM. We are live on Facebook. If you want to be part of it, you join us there and you can share it to your networks so that others can have opportunity of being part of what we do here. We're happy that you could join us. So at this time, we're moving on to the resolutions reached by Southern governors on insecurity, restructuring, and others. It reminds me of the book written by Karl Mayer. He called this book, This House Has Fallen. On the preface page, he said, Nigeria was suffering from a sort of national psychosis. Political and military leaders were corrupt. Crime was seen by many as a legitimate avenue for advancement, and people in search of solutions were turning inwards to ethnic prejudice and religious bigotry. He said there is a complete split between power and moral right, and unless you have access to power, you have nothing. Everyone is seeking instant gratification. No one is prepared to think of the future. Nigeria is a land of no tomorrow. And are we going to end our nation without thinking about the future? Now, these governors came together, 17 of them in southern Nigeria. They met in Asaba, Delta State on Tuesday. At the meeting, they discussed several issues, including security, open cattle grazing, and restructuring of Nigeria. They arrived at 12 resolutions, including banning open grazing of cattle in all their states. And so, if you pick up that resolution, it's here. I'm sure my journalists who are also here can see the resolution right before them, and we can begin to discuss them. Arakuni Oluwaseun, Governor Ondo State, signed that document. Dr. Victor Okeze Pazu, Governor Abia State, and His Excellency Chief Emmanuel Udom, Governor Akwa Ibom State, also signed. So they all were there. You see them 17 with 2 deputy governors there at that meeting. So, Tunde, I know we've discussed the issue about these blocks coming together. So how did it come to you when you saw 17 of them from the south coming together?
Okay, this is like what they say, that it is what it is. I was actually, and I am still, excited about the prospect and now the reality that for once we can have a forum where the entire 17 states, as we have it right now, that forms the southern Nigeria, could come together. At non-state levels, we've seen, this kind of meetings, Afenifere, Ohaneze Ndigbo, the South and Middle Belt Forum, coming together. But we all know that if indeed you intend to make far-reaching decisions, resolutions that would lead to actions to be implemented, you need people who have constitutional recognition and backing to do this. So I am very excited that they've been able to pull this off. And like you've mentioned earlier, I think we should, commend those who have championed this. We know the governor of Ondo State, Arakuni Rotimi Akeredolu, who is also the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum, has been very vocal, very bold and courageous about his stance on national issues. And of course, his counterparts in the South and the Southeast as well. There are some that we argue the 19 versus 17 dichotomy, if indeed it represents the real classification of the tribal inclinations of Nigeria. But as we have it, 17 is good enough. Now, coming down to the things they discussed, the resolution number 1 is that they believe in the unity of Nigeria. They believe, is that?
They believe, yes, but on something.
Negotiated unity.
Yes.
That they all accepted the fact that things are not the way they should be, and I think it takes only an hypocrite or somebody who is playing ostrich at this point to disagree with those people. Nigeria is in a very precarious situation, and these are very dangerous times where you need people to show leadership, and that is what they have done. They basically asked for several things. One, they asked the president to address the nation, because we are more or less in a situation where we now have the presidency. People who are the president seem to be doing a lot of things by proxy. If it's not Femi Adesina, it is Garba Shehu, it is Abubakar Malami, or Lai Mohammed, or Rotimi Amechi. Different people exercising presidential powers, so to say, because of access, not because they are the president. So it's important for the president to speak not just once, because sometimes what happens is that we beg and beg. It's almost like the president is keeping malice with us, so you beg and beg before
he speaks.
Somebody will now send a WhatsApp message that by 8 p.m. tomorrow the president will speak to you, and then you will go back for another 6 months. No, speaking to us means that he's active on his responsibility. They also mention, national dialogue. That I am not particularly. I'm a bit indifferent about need for another national dialogue.
Why?
Because I believe that we already had two. At least in recent times, we had one in 2004. 10 years later, there was another one in 2014. This dialogue, some resolutions came out of this dialogue, and they more or less address the issues that are staring us in the face today. Maybe the question of state police is one big issue that is now more prominent than it has ever been at any point in our history, and I see that is very paramount to the governors. They want to have state police, but outside of that, I think all other things have been taken care of, because when you want to organize another national dialogue, it's going to come at a huge cost. So I think before we even talk of another national dialogue, we should bring out those reports and start to implement them.
Okay. I actually, my decision is for us to look at some of these issues there, one after the other. But Michael, let's come to number one. For you, let's quickly go into number one. They said the southern Nigeria remain committed to the unity of Nigeria on the basis of justice, fairness, equity, and oneness, and peaceful coexistence between and among its people, with a focus on the attainment of shared goals for economic development and prosperity. Michael, do we have shared goals?
We don't, which is why it has become imperative for every subnational government, every non-state actor to be making noise and also trying to get clout, because we are not a nation that is united. And also, we are not a nation that believes in justice, fairness, equity, oneness, peaceful coexistence. These are the things that have become mantra, but they are just absent mantra in our nation. How can you be saying that we are one Nigeria? And then, if you look at what they are saying there, they are talking about inclusive governance. So, if there is inclusive governance, nobody will be asking for fairness and equity. Nobody will be asking, because everybody will understand that, okay, we are all enjoying the dividends of our governance. So it's not there, which is an issue. There was a list, being circulated recently about the meeting that the president had with the security chiefs, and a lot of people, have been, calculating percentages. 80% of the people in that meeting were from the north, like 12% from the southwest, and then the southeastern.
The security meeting that the president had.
Yes. So you begin to ask the question: why do we have such lopsided distribution of people who should man, the security of this nation? Why do we have, a tilt, in one direction in terms of appointments made by the president?
Let me further your thought. I was reading Abdul Rafiu on the on the 15th page of The Guardian earlier this morning. And I'm going to read something for you there. Maybe it will also help your thought. He said that the president had a meeting with the security chiefs. He listed the names of those who were in that meeting. I don't want to go into listing the names, but he said the meeting decided the new security arrangement in the southeast and south-south geopolitical zones, and the zones did not appear to have been represented from what was shown on television. He said that cannot be said to be right, fair, and equitable.
It's not.
He said, little wonder, and rightly so, pressed for what they called greater inclusiveness and existing governance architecture. The governor says, in view of the widespread agitation among our various people for greater inclusiveness in existing governance arrangement, the federal government should convoke a national dialogue as a matter of urgency. So, do you share his thought?
Well, just like Tunde said, I'm also indifferent. I like to use this word to national dialogue because you see, we spent 7 billion naira, to hold the 2014 national conference. 7 billion naira. And when you consider inflation and the other things that come into play, if you are going to convoke another national dialogue this time around, we might need 50% of the national budget to do that. So, but you see, all these national conferences have addressed our existential problems. Why don't we just look into them?
So we should implement them.
Why don't we just look into them, draft a white paper or whatever they want to call it, and implement?
All right, so let's go to the next one because of time. You see, we're not going to go to all of them, but number 2 is also important here. They observe that the incursion of armed herders, criminals, and bandits into the southern part of the country has presented a severe security challenge, such that citizens are not able to live their normal lives, including pursuing various productive activities, blah, blah, blah. Consequently, the meeting resolved that open grazing of cattle be banned across southern Nigeria. But listen to what Professor Usman Yusuf, I'm sure you know him, the former NHIS boss, said it was on AIT. So let me be sure that this is why, where we got this from, so that nobody is confused about it. It's an AIT interview that he granted. So listen to what he said here.
Act have taken over this land. So all this crisis is about land. So governments need to act responsibly and see the security implications of this crisis. And this can be solved, not militarily, but responsibly.
Professor Usman, what I asked you earlier, I do not know whether you can hear me now. I just hope you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can.
What the governor said wasn't that anybody should leave the southern parts of the country. What they said was ban on open grazing. Carrying cattle all over the place must stop. That's what they said.
Good. Then southern governors must need to provide places where this Fulanis will graze their cattle.
Today, Professor Usman said the governors of the south should provide where these Fulanis will graze their cattle.
You see, the devil is always in the details. And if you read through the resolutions, there's a link between the incursion of armed herders into the southern part of the country and the increase in the spate of criminality, especially kidnapping, that has almost become a major industry, sadly to note. And it's unfortunate. Professor Usman Yusuf is a professor of hematology. But in that interview, he was speaking, purely from a parochial point of view. That's the way. Sometimes when we bring religion and ethnicity into any question, we throw away logic, and then we become, whatever it is we feel like becoming. Sometimes I still struggle to understand why, we have to spend about 6 years, 7 years trying to convince some people that open grazing of cattle is counterproductive, is unhealthy for the animals, for the herder, for the economy. It is dangerous because basically there is no way you're going to move 250 cattle, through a system that you're not going to affect other people's farms. You see, I am not particularly concerned about Professor Usman Yusuf. I would like to listen to the advice of Femi Falana-Osan, who has actually advised, the southern governors to go a step further beyond this resolution by making their state attorney general, to draft bill to this effect, pass it to the houses of assembly in those states, and make them become laws so that you can, prosecute offenders. I think by now we should go beyond the point of trying to appeal and convince that this is the right way to go. Except if Professor Usman Yusuf is ready to show us one developed society where the practice of open grazing of cattle is still in place. So he can choose to be in the 16th century, but I think we need to move on.
Michael, what do you say to that quickly?
Yeah, basically, Tunde has said it all. I'm shocked that a professor will be talking this way, and basically because parochialism has taken the space. How can you be saying that in the 21st century, in 2021, that people need to be herding cows about on our highways and all that? Is that if I assume that as a professor of amatology, he has traveled world over. So where is it in the world of today that cattle are being herded everywhere? And how can the cattle produce milk that will give you nutrition? How healthy will the herdsman even be?
The cattle is already stressed.
The cattle is already stressed. How do you produce good, beef or milk when the cattle is stressed? You can't. So basically, it's just doing this because the governors who made this resolution are also they also need, just like Tunde said, they need to go a notch higher by making it a law across their regions. I'm not sure whether we have 5 states that have a law on, I'm not sure. I know Ekiti, you have Benue, Ekiti, Benue, Oyo, exactly.
Yes.
And that's all.
And Ondo.
And Ondo, yeah. So we need all the states to, really have this law in place and also have the political will and maturity to implement it. Because you see, it's at the point of implementation that so today you are saying 17 governors. I will not be shocked if tomorrow the APC governors amongst them, back out of this agreement. I will not be shocked.
I was going there today. Were you not surprised that it cut across the 2 major political parties? You saw PDP, you saw APC.
You even have the Anambra, which is APGA.
APGA there, sitting down on the same table discussing these issues.
I believe there is always a point where the interests of your people will supersede that of party interests. And I think for once, that is something that, the southern governors commendably have allowed to play out in this kind of situation. That's what I think.
Okay.
Meanwhile, there's something the governor of Ondo State, Arakun Rotimi Akeredolu, said, which is very instructive, that if the Northern Governors Forum today decide to oppose this ban on open grazing, that subject matter will divide the group. Forget the 19 states. Are you telling me the governor of Benue State will not support the ban on open grazing?
He already has a law
when his state is the number one victim of this. So it's let's keep it on the lane of common sense. That is the only logical thing to do at this point.
Okay. Because we talk about security and this movement, this interstate movement is something that is very germane to the issue of security. I'll play it up here. We know that Boko Haram is in Niger State.
Yes.
We talk about hoisting flags.
Flags, exactly.
Villagers are said to be negotiating with the terrorists for safety right now. Niger State, listen, is about 8 hours, 12 minutes drive to Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. How long will it take them to come in through our forests?
So basically, you have said it that it's just 8 hours, and 8 hours is just the snap of your fingers.
You are here,
and then they are here. So these governors in the south need to, follow up with commitment to making this thing happen. You see, I'm tired of hearing about these things and communiques being read. we need action. You see, when they came up to say they are banning open grazing, I laughed in the first instance before really considering their statements again. How can you say you are collectively banning open grazing when open grazing is banned in some of the states that are even in that meeting? I thought that they should just say that all the other states that have not, banned open grazing should now go ahead and do so. That was what I was expecting from them, really, because Ondo State, Ondo, Oyo, and maybe some other states across the Ekiti, they have this law already. Why are they not implementing it? You see, recently I was just moderating an event by JDPC where you had people from Ibarakwa, and the committee chairman, security committee in the Oyo State Assembly here said that we have law. The chairman of a Greek committee at the house is also a farmer in that area. He also said that we have had meetings and all that, but the security agencies are not cooperating with us. So I thought that what they should be doing is to be challenging the president to work on making sure that if indeed he wants peace in this country, that he should mandate the IG and all the other, sister, security agencies to be on their toes. That's what I was expecting. And they are insisting, they are asking for state police when they have, maybe a watered down version of state police already. They have a Amotekun across the southwest of Nigeria. Why are they not mobilizing to upgrade them or do something? You understand, to make sure that these ones are also potent in the activity of making sure that we cut short the activities of herdsmen who are violent. Of course, not all herdsmen are violent. We need to also understand that. But those who are violent, we need to make sure that we allow the law to take its course on them, so that they will be an example for others who might be thinking that this is an opportunity for us to also take the land. And I'm still shocked that these people are still asking for grazing routes. Which grazing routes are they talking about? Century.
All right. Well, the program is Splash Rendezvous, 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. We'd like to hear from you, but here is Mr. President speaking after he was done with the prayers.
The law enforcement agencies are working hard to regain confidence against the bandits so that people can go back to the land. This is very important. This is what the law enforcement agents are very busy about now. The rainy season is coming, so we want people to go back to the land so that we can get enough food for the country and even export. And we are hoping Nigerians will understand the problem. Nigerians know at which stage we came, 2015, what stage we are now, both on security, both on economy. And we are going by the Constitution, we are doing our best, but with the resources available and the manpower available to us, we are working very hard. And I think the National Assembly is cooperating very well. With the resources available to us, they are certainly giving us priority in our requirements, and we are doing our best. The important thing is the elites must make the attempt to understand the military. If we order, say, weapons and armored vehicles, it takes time for the manufacturers. It takes time when it is brought here, eventually shipped here, taken to our training institutions, training the trainers, and then sending them to. This is a very, very long process. And even if you can have contact with the retired military chaps, they will tell you the difference between the time we came and now, how much hardware we have got, how much training we have done. If you don't know, go and ask people from Borno, from Adamawa, the difference in terms of security. And without security, you can't do anything. And in the South, our biggest surprise and disappointment is what is happening in the Northwest. And we are dealing with it.
That was the president. Now, those of you that said president should speak with us, he has spoken today. You heard him.
Yes, I did.
He has spoken to you.
He speaks occasionally. I'm not saying, I mean, he spoke today after the
Eid prayer.
prayers, which, I mean, in itself is not a bad thing. And I'm not in any way suggesting that the president should, become an MC that speaks almost every time. But, we need, what Nigerians need. We need somebody who is proactive. More often than not, what we get is statement from his spokespersons. I think we can do better than this.
I was wondering why the president is always talking about the rainy season is here, we are going to have harvest. The world is no longer dependent on rain-fed agriculture alone. I will still stuck way in the past, Michael.
Mr. Akinola, I think you need to cure yourself of too much of expectation. In development communication, there's something called phenomenon of rising expectations, and when the expectations are not met, you have a phenomenon of rising frustrations.
So where are we?
So you need to keep your heart safe and healthy. You have too much of expectation. You are equating Nigeria with Israel and Germany and the Netherlands, right? But you see, we are still, just like Tunde said, we are about crawling out of the 16th, for me, we are trying to crawl out of the 17th century. Well, you see, technology, did you hear, you need to understand the explanation of the president. He was talking about the fact that when armor tanks are, bought, that we need to train on how to press the buttons and the rest of it.
And don't you need to train?
Wow.
Especially on the aspect of agriculture, said that the rains are almost here.
Yes.
So they are trying to, rev up the fight against bandits, so that farmers can go back to farm.
NIMET has already said that there will be much rain. So
I'm thinking that the idea that because we're not in the rainy season before, the farmers were no longer on the farm.
Yeah,
that is how we still project agriculture.
Exactly.
We're going that for 6 months we'll not farm.
Take a break, and then we'll start taking calls. But members of the Nigeria's House of Representatives from the 17 southern states have unanimously supported resolutions of the Southern Governors Forum on the ban on open grazing, demand for true federalism, restructuring, as well as a worsening insecurity in the country. I hope their counterpart in the Senate will do the same.
I'm hoping so too, but you see, on the flip side of it, these governors that are asking for restructuring and all that, Jusun is asking is on strike because the governors of states are not allowing the judiciary to collect money from directly from the federation account.
So that's contradiction.
These are governors who have the speakers of the states of our houses of assembly in their pockets,
the local governments,
back pockets. These are governors who are annulling as if they are INEC or whatever. They are annulling elections into local governments. You see the reverse how do I put it now? The reverse morality in Nigeria.
Somebody said what we need is dual restructuring, and I agree absolutely.
So from the federal.
So as we are restructuring, because what it basically means is that we are decentralizing. We are decongesting the exclusive list, but at the states, at the subnational levels too, we must. There must be full autonomy
at that level.
Yes, the legislature at the state level,
the local government,
the judiciary, also at the local government levels.
Okay,
they have to be fully autonomous.
All right, we'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll hear from the people. I also wanted to make statements about the Supreme Court judgment on the local government in Oyo State when we come back. Stay with us, don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Panadol Extra náà ni. Panadol Extra. Ó tún ti ń bẹ báyìí nínú ìdí kékeré oníkápẹ́lẹ̀tì mẹ́rin láàdọ́ta náírà péré. Panadol Extra kẹ́nẹ́ ni. Panadol Extra mú tura bẹ́ fọ́rí, ìrora ẹ̀yìn, ìrora oríkèé, ìrora nǹkan oṣù àti ìrora eyín. Tí ìbá ṣe Panadol, kò lè jẹ́ bí Panadol. Tá ìpadà ò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, lọ rí dókítà. Panadol Extra ní paracetamol àti caffeine nínú. Kò sí fáláboyún àtàwọn ọmọdé tọ́jú orí wọn kéré sọ́dún 12.
The sweetest period of anyone's life is their childhood. Come spend this year's Children's Day at the Splash FM Lagelu FM Children's Day Fun Fair 2021. Let your kids spend this day with unlimited fun. Activities include dancing competition, free refreshment, fun fair, face painting, singing competition, bouncing castle, and other side attractions. Date 27th May 2021 by 11 a.m. at MOF 21 Event Center. Gate fee 1,000 naira only. Please note, COVID-19 measures would be duly observed.
For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0805 699 8701.
Give your child the bounteous shower of love and care with unlimited fun at the Splash FM Lagelu FM Children's Day Fun Fair 2021.
Ibadan! 9 Mobile 4G LTE has landed and we are in for the time of our lives. Streaming matches will never be the same. Video calls will be clearer than ever. Work will be so smooth, it won't feel like work. That's smooth.
Yes, Ibadan! Enjoy browsing with quality 4G LTE on 9 mobile data plans. Get 2 GB plus free access to social media for 500 naira, 7 GB plus free access to social media for 1,500 naira, and 3.5 GB free data for night streaming on select monthly data plans of 1,000 naira and above. Dial *200*3*1# to get started. T's apply. 9 Mobile.
Hey, Oga and Madam, you don't see the room now. Make I show you the toilet where you could share with the other neighbors.
Now the toilet be this.
What's up?
Oga agent, you mean say na general toilets clean come white like this,
Yes, now. The hypo toilet cleaner that they use to clean up and kill the yama germs come out.
Hypo toilet cleaner? Wow.
Wash your toilet at least once a week with hypo toilet cleaner to keep it sparkling clean and germ free. Available in sachets for 35 naira only. Madam, now 2 years land on one collect.
We go pay for 6 years,
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
My name is Data Lover Joe Mapel. Any if I go know I'm well. MTN Pulse don't come ring my bell. What's this I hear of data just for the night? You see, I'm a very, very big guy, but I don't joke with my gigi bites. So MTN get the free guy with this data plan for the midnight. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 2 gig, go boy, I can live the life. IG, TikTok is ready to go. Oh boy, I'm feeling fine because 11 to 6 in the morning. IG, TikTok, balling. 2 gig, they for me. MTN Pulse, yes, of course,
MTN Pulse. Do you? Dial *406# to join. Everywhere you go, MTN.
You don dey wait for am, the dying minute of the football season wey dey come with extra drama, better heartbreak, he didn't get the goal then, and the victory wey you go tell your pikin and your pikin dem. But anyhow it take happen, we dey gidigba with our team, na for life. Na football wey make sense be this, and you no fit miss am. Stay connected on top your GoTV this whole month of May as football season don enter final lap. GoTV, love it.
kíni kan wà tí gbogbo obìnrin máa ń ní tí wọ́n bá ti di abiyamọ yóò mọ̀ tí ẹbí rẹ̀ bá nírora torí bá ń fọ́ wọn ṣé bí ìjáfara léwu abiyamọ kì í fi ìgbà ìrora falẹ̀ pẹ̀lú M&B paracetamol tó yára pa tí kì í gbalọ̀ kábọ̀ oníkóró fún àgbàlagbà àti olómi tó ládùn ọ̀pọ̀ òyìnbó fún àwọn ọmọdé yóò lé ẹ̀fọ́rí àti ara ríro jìnnà sí ẹbí rẹ̀ M&B kàti ń perégedé ó lé ní 70 ọdún òun ni àwọn obìnrin tó rínú ròde fi ọkàn tán fún ẹ̀fọ́rí àti ìrora ní ìwé alọ́ rámirámi làárí pupa ìyẹn M&B paracetamol tí ìrora kò bá lọ lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì rí dókítà rẹ̀ M&B paracetamol ìrora kò lè dá ọ dúró.
Honey, Foodco Festival of Savings don't come again, with plenty markets when they put hope for pocket.
Nkechi, you don't start again. You and your spending tori. No forget say school just resume. School fees they take one eye look us.
Oh, Baba Bon Boy, Foodco Festival of Savings now once in a blue moon, This one now ogbonge discount to carry for body 20% off on winning basket.
Nkechi, ogbele o.
You never see something. Plenty markets day with shikini money. Milo energy drink 500 gram for 950 naira. Golden Mon for 50 gram for 660 naira. Malta Guinness pack of 6 now 775 naira. 15% discount day for home appliances like air clipper, pressing iron, air fryer, fans, blender, and plenty items. This promo now from 10th of May. Go reach 16th of May. Offers valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions dey o.
Good morning, my neighbors. How are you doing?
Moving on for this early moment now.
James, it is I, Johnny.
I beg, I no get money to borrow you again.
Be calming down. No need for that because I found more ways to make millions this season.
Johnny, my friend, yarn me better.
Forget though, I don't get extra packet from Bet King. We be say if I chop one, it go be like say I don't chop 10.
That's right. You can max out your winnings on Bet King with boosted odds and multiple bonus.
My friend, this is where you differentiate the king from the crowd. Just visit betking.com on any device and see for yourself.
Bet King, playground for kings.
Ìgbàgbọ́ kan ní Splash FM ní pé okòwò ṣẹ́gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ láwùjọ wa lónìí kì í ṣe títa àwùjọ lólobó nìkan bí kò ṣe jíjẹ́ akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ àwọn tó gbéṣẹ́ náà dání. Èròǹgbà wa tó kàn ní dídá ògo ṣẹ́gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ padà nípa kíkọ́ àti ríró àwọn agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lágbára pẹ̀lú ìmọ̀ tó tẹ̀wọ̀n. Ká sì tún àwọn ọ̀ràn tó ń bọ̀ sọ́nà nípa iṣẹ́ ọnà àti ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ sáyẹ́ǹsì ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tá a ti ń gùn lé láti bí ọdún 14 sẹ́yìn nínú okòwò ṣẹ́gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́. Ẹ kú ojú lọ́nà.
Anytime malaria show, Nakam Shalatempo. Anytime malaria come, Shalatempo. If malaria trouble you,
don't let malaria come out action for your body. Nakam Shalatem will be brand of anti-malaria wey contain Artemether and lumefantrine. Shalatem na medicine from Shalina Healthcare Nigeria. Dem get Shalatem for every age group dem. Make you remember to always use Shalatem with food. If symptoms no change after 3 days, go see your doctor.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. It's time for us to hear from you right now. But before we pick the first call, gentlemen, let's quickly make a statement about this. It would be unfair not to talk about it. I want to even link it. You know, Michael, you broached the issue that the governors are looking for a liberalized federation, a federation that is truly federal.
Yeah.
But within their own enclave, they are not giving the local government that breathing space. And that judgment that the Supreme Court gave us that flip to say that, okay, right now, governors should not act, in such
illegal ways.
Yes, a way that they dissolve a democratically elected government.
Yes.
My question to you is, with this judgment, what have we learned?
Yeah, we have learned that people should not be reckless with power. We have learned that people should be circumspect. I had thought that when the governor came in, that he could have, brokered a peace meeting with those, and
woo them.
And it's politics now. Are they not politicians who can, be crisscrossing and carpet crossing and all that at every moment? These are the same people we know. You could speak to them and say, guys, we want to work together, but you understand the issues and all that. It will be easy for him to get, the buy-in of these people. So that was what I thought. So what we lost, what we should have done first was done last. And this judgment, is a landmark judgment for me. So it will help us to, bring sanity into the governance space in the country. But I know you are going to ask Tunde that question. For me,
not the same question. What I want to ask Tunde is,
it came at great cost.
Okay, that's where I'm going. Today, the cost of this judgment to the state. I was looking at the RAMFAC, document yesterday. I discussed it on my program, and I saw that, each of them will probably be going annually. They probably earn about 3 million naira. So if you put that together, plus the 10 months that the Supreme Court said they should pay them, that each of them might be going through 8 or 9 million naira each.
Well, that speaks to how expensive our democracy is, how much our public office holders get, even at the local level. We probably have the highest paid public office holders, in the world, especially if you weigh what they get vis-a-vis our poverty index as a country. It will definitely show you that these people are out of touch, they're out of reality, and that is why people are generally angry with them, from Mr. President to even a local government councillor who is probably the lowest ranked elected officer, in Nigeria. This is one thing that will never stop advocating against in terms of what they earn. Collectively, about 3.7 billion will be, going into this local government money. Something that's ordinarily. If you wait, some people are already getting paid as caretaker chairman. So you're still going to pay this. It's taxpayers' money. It's money from sales of oil, so that we are just going to dole out. But I think it serves the government of Oyo State right. What is illegal can never be legal, and then the long-term effects of this I'm even happier about. Okay, because the same way the governors forum have formed themselves to the governors have formed themselves to a powerful unit. The local government chairmen, they now understand that with Algon, you can also achieve a lot in fighting the governors.
Okay, so the people are the ultimate loser.
Yes.
Let's take the calls now quickly. Please, if you're calling us, you have only 30 seconds to make your point, and then get another call. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening. Good evening, Sheon. Good evening, Michael. Good evening, Tunde. This is Eze.
Eze, welcome. 30 seconds, Eze.
Yes, I listened to the president, and the question I want to ask the three gentlemen is, are you sure the president is aware that Boko Haram is in Niger State? Are you sure? Are we sure that what comes to the table of the president is what is actually happening? Security reports. Are you sure the president is aware? Because from what he's saying, he's talking about raid. He's talking about different things. He's not talking about the fact that Boko Haram is in Niger State. He's not talking to us about security awareness. I don't think the president is oblivious. And that is why we are in short, I don't know how we're going to go about it.
All right.
No, it's really scary.
Thank you.
He's not aware that there's problem in Nigeria. He's not aware.
Thank you. That's your opinion, but thank you so much.
He actually, the president spoke about
the insecurity.
Yes, especially in the northwest.
Yes.
So he's aware. He gets briefing every time. Even the service chiefs were there at the prayers today.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
I just want to make it simple like this.
Name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Wale from Ibadan.
Welcome.
The triple stand on which the government stands not properly structured Nigeria. If the basis is on falsehood, really define the kind of government that we are running in the first instance. So we have to check the basis. The issue in Nigeria is a systemic problem that we have. It's even beyond all what we are discussing and everything like that. Nigeria is going to be okay, except something changes. So you are looking about security and everything. When the president of the country invites That's why all the Fulani on the continent to come to his country. At the home, they are together. I think we just have to get it. The governors, now they are waking up, coming together as a southerner. In fact, the masses, we should be celebrating a bit. Because this is long overdue.
All right. Thank you very much.
Look at the gap.
Thank you. You said this is long overdue. That's taken. Thank you so much. Let's see who is here. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. Good morning, Michael and Catholic. Jude from the Calabar.
All right, Jude. Welcome. Let's talk quickly.
Now, you've discussed about many things. So let me go straight to now. When I was a little bit younger, when I was a little boy, people used to steal things. Some boys used to steal things from me, from my locker. And I used to complain to my dad. My dad would throw at me and beat me on it. And my dad would tell me, you cannot stop people from trying to steal from you, but you can stop people from stealing from you. Now, these guys these bandits, they will always find their way here. We cannot stop them from coming. We cannot stop them from trying to come. But we can stop them from arming us. Now, it leads to what the Amotekons and what they have in the East now. Now, what we need to do now is to be serious on our Amotekons and whatever internet security network we are having. Now, we should be serious on it. Fund them adequately. Now, if the governor Sheyi does not have enough funds to fund and to finance this security outfit, we should appeal to the people. We pay maybe 200 naira per person in your state in the trust fund, headed by the SSG, the deputy governor or the governor. We need to start doing something. As of today, is public holiday, but by tomorrow, government need to start doing something. We need to make a statement, arrest people who are perpetrating crimes in Nigeria. People have been dying daily. People have been adopted daily. We need to start doing something.
All right. Thank you very much. We just have to go. Folonjo Toyochi, thank you so much for being part of the program. Today, your last statement here.
Okay, what I would love to see is a properly constituted Southern Governors Forum, with ESCOs and everything, not just, meeting occasionally. I want them to have a body.
Okay.
It's going to be a very useful body.
Okay, they form a pressure group.
Yeah, today is looking for a pressure group.
There's a Northern Governors Forum, so it's okay.
Yeah, so for balance, right?
Yeah.
So today is looking for a pressure group.
So your last statement.
I am looking for a pressure group that is made up of citizens, so that we can ask questions. If you voted someone into office, you should be able to ask that person for stewardship.
Nigeria truly matters. However deep it has sunk into a mire of corruption, repression, and economic dilapidation, Nigeria remains one of the world's strategic nations, and we must work to make it better. Henceforth, I will always say, God bless Nigeria. Good evening, and thank you, Tunde, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for always being here.
Anytime.
I'm Oluwaseun. God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.
Here is
105.